What is up, everyone? Mary and J08 here with my continued Project Spark coverage as promised. In the last video, you guys saw me on the Xbox One give you a tour of my level that I am creating. I am actually in the process of making a game. It's called Goblin Island. It is a first-person / adventure game. It happens at nighttime. It's a little bit of a scary game. There are enemies. And I showed off a lot what I have so far as a work in progress. I'm actually building this myself from scratch, my own code. I'm doing everything myself, building and sculpting everything myself, and writing my own lines of code all by myself. Deleting everything that came defaulted with the game and starting exclusively from scratch. So this game is going to be exactly how I wanted it to come. It's a long way off. I'm having fun with it. I'm doing a little bit of testing. I am designing it on the computer here. This is my Dell, my dual screen computer here where I can do all my work. And then what we're doing is we're actually bringing it all the way over to here, to my gaming area, and testing it on the Xbox One. It's just so much easier designing it on the PC with the mouse and keys than designing it on the Xbox One with the controller. It would just take forever. And a lot of you guys have been asking, are you going to be doing a lot of tutorials of this? And I am. I'm actually waiting to get direct capture before I start doing tutorials in this game. Because it's just hard doing it this way, recording off the computer screen. If I'm going to be doing tutorials on code and sculpting, I got to have the direct capture to really show you guys the detail. But I figured, you know what? To hold you guys over, I'm going to quickly show you what I'm working with here. And not really so much as a tutorial, but just show you guys how I'm building this. Because a lot of people enjoyed, my coverage of my level when I was showing it off the other day. They says, give us a little bit of insight before you start doing your tutorials. Because I am going to have a series on here called Project Spark Tutorials. Once I get my direct capture, it's going to be about coding, painting, sculpting, and using the program. And I'm going to start from scratch, from the very beginning, how I learned it. So, for now, I am just going to show you quickly. This is a view of my island. I am in view mode, edit mode. Okay, I'm going to tilt the camera around. Basically, those arrows are showing you where my character is. Okay. I got some torches here. I got my cave here that I showed off in the demo. I'm really starting to get into detail now. I'm starting to paint some more stuff. I added some more rocks the other day. I added some more trees. You guys can see all this. I've been adding houses. I have another enemy area where an enemy spawns. I have some empty area over here in the green that I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with. I might make that into like a village or something. Got a nice little bridge over there. We got some dead trees. Got some more stuff here. Got the rivers flowing in from the sea. It's coming in. It's looking nice. I like the way that this is coming out a lot. What I really love about this is it almost has that Monkey Island feel to it, which I absolutely freaking love. I'm so inspired from that. And it shows here in my creations. Of course, we have our underground cave here with the nice fireplace. I actually put a light bulb in there to actually light it. You have to understand that. Same with these torches. Like I made these custom torches, but they don't come lit. There's actually, you're seeing it in the edit mode. You wouldn't see it in the game mode, but there's an actual light bulb here, which actually has properties, and I'll show it to you. So we have light bulb, and actually what you could do is you could go to properties, and there's actually stuff here, like appearance, physics, brain. Is it casting shadows? What color light is the bulb giving off? What is the range of the bulb? The power is on. There's so much here. And this is all stuff that I'm going to be covering in my tutorial series. You'll actually know. See, the lighting is fixed. Is it flickering? Is it stationary? Is it because of gravity? Is it fixed? Is it tumbling? This is all stuff that I'm going to be going over in my future tutorials. This is pretty involved. It's very involved. See the bulb? I'm giving it off that flame, that color. I could set the intensity of the light. I could set the intensity and the range of the light. It's pretty cool. And then, of course, we have our character. Kind of Link, Zelda-inspired character here. And I'm going to show you, actually, what code is. Roughly. I'm going to go through this in the tutorial from scratch. We're going to go on a clean slate, but this is code. This is from the first line here all the way down. And this is pretty much the brain of video games, how video games are created, how characters and, interactive items are built. And it's nice because Project Spark really makes this user-friendly. I mean, it's still quite involved. It still has quite of a learning curve, but it's definitely different than doing code back in the day on regular development software. For example, I'm actually going to read this off to you what this means, because this is going to look like a lot of hogwash to you guys. Only once does it read this in this whole line of code. Okay, my on-land speed, which is walking, equals, and I set it to 2.5. Now, it depends on what kind of game you're going to have. It depends on the pace that you want the game. Again, what we do is, if you notice, this is inserted off-margined from where this starts. It's kind of like, it's not directly under it like these are. These are inward, which means that these are connected to this. So once, it's going to go through here. And we have pace of the game equals 0.75. Remember now, this pace is different than our on-land speed. This is the speed of the game. This is the speed of the animation. But you're not going to see this because we're going to be in first-person mode. But you'll be able to see it as you're walking. You'll actually be able to hear it, if anything, through the footsteps. Again, we have the jump height equals 1, because by default he jumps like a kangaroo. And then this is a new line of code. See where it starts? And basically what this is telling you is that this is in first-person camera. Now, you might be saying to yourself, wow, I don't know nothing about this. What is when and do? When something happens, do is the consequence. So when is I get into my car, and do is I drive off. You can't drive off until you get into your car. So you have the when, and then you have the do. The when equals the do. Now I'm coding for both the PC and Xbox, by the way. When I click the left trigger or the WASD keys on my keyboard, then do is move. When I click the A button on my Xbox controller or the space bar on my keyboard, the do is jump. The next line of code. B on the Xbox controller pressed or the left mouse button will attack heavy. So I put that code in for the enemies because I have goblins in here. And those are programmed separately. So they have their own line of code. This is just for my character, a hooded ranger, whatever you call him. Left trigger or shift equals land on speed equals 6. Now you might be saying to yourself, huh? That's right, because you know why? That's a sprint function. So your land on speed has to be faster than your normal land on speed. So you're going to go from a 2.5, and when you hit the left trigger sprint, it's going to jump to a 6. However, what I found in coding is that when you release the left trigger, it doesn't go back to your regular speed. It stays sprinted. So I had to put a code in for that. So you have a code here called else. Okay? Once you release the trigger, it goes back to land on speed equals 2.5. Technically, I don't need this top code here because it's pretty much it's pretty much I'm trying to think of the word. It's stated on that line of code, and basically this just cleans up your code to get it less confusing, but I just left it in here to explain. Normally you don't need that because, like I said, it is mentioned down here. And then of course what we do is we have the graphical interface. So I did a code for, we don't need a when because it's all do, show meter, okay, on the bottom left screen in green. And that's our stamina bar. And then we have a crosshair because it's a first person game. So display a dot, extra large font in the very center of the screen. And then of course we have our health bar, show meter health, maximum health, okay, maximum health, it's on the top left of the screen. And that's the end of the code. And that's all I have coded so far. I know that sounds like a bunch of hogwash to you, but wait until my tutorial series where I go in depth and show you guys from scratch. But this is how my level is coming. I'm really, really enjoying it. I've been going in here at night and messing with things and editing things and fussing with things and adding things. I'm adding like treasures now and enemies, and I'm adding lighting effects and torches and fireplaces, and I actually have to light some of them. I actually built this last night. There's a little village here, and then actually this camera is atrocious in my opinion, but I'm still getting used to it. I actually carved this out. I saw this nice mound, and I actually carved this out and made this into like a little sanctuary, like a little hidden cave in there, and there's actually a woman in there, and she's guarding the treasure. Actually, let's show you guys real quick. If you missed my video before, I'll do a test video here. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do it one-handed, but, well, this is first-person view. So, there's the goblin, a sword. I hear the enemies coming over. There's goblins. Yeah, hear them? They're actually coming. They're on the way. The zombies are coming. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm really liking this. I definitely see this going into a cool direction. Let's see, I'm moving now. Runs really good. Actually, on the Xbox One, it looks phenomenal. Like I said, I'm only using the PC to do my editing. I'm not really using it for anything else other than editing. And that is my project so far. Pretty damn neat. It's really coming along. There's some amazing tools here. Like you have this prop tool here. Look at all this awesome stuff. I mean, this is endless. You have different houses, you have different characters, you have different stones, you have different trees, you have different plants. These are all props that you can actually use, and then what you could do is you could wipe the code out. You can actually put brains to these damn things. You could actually give these things intelligence. And it's endless. I mean, look at this stuff. You know, bones, hay, ice, knights, info, signs, banners, axes, weapons, bulbs, logic cubes, metal hanger, lotus flower. This is a never-ending program. It's quite awesome. You know, we have our paint tool here. If you notice here, I'm going to show you right now. I am in the middle of painting a path. See, this is all going to be a path here. And this path is going to continue. And watch this. See that? I just painted that path. And then you can actually go here. Continue down. See that? You can go all in detail there, and you can bring it down here. You can set the brush width. So I'm painting my. That's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm painting my paths, so the player knows where to go, basically. So that is that. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm actually going to save this up and continue watching my coverage of Project Spark. I love this program, and I love, you know, these editing tools. It's amazing. And it's amazing that we have them right at our, you know, at our fingertips. It's really something else. I never thought at last year's E3 that, you know, it was this involved. If I knew then what I know now, I would have really, really been on board with this. Take care, everybody, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.